Hi guys, today we're going to be covering what is new in iOS 26 and specifically what is new in Apple AI, Apple Intelligence, and Visual Intelligence, which is how you can look up things that you either take photos of or just point your camera at. So first up, has Siri gotten any better? The answer is no, and I'm going to actually show you the only real thing that has changed. Okay, so Siri is going to be improved one day, allegedly, but it is not improved today. Siri now has access to Google Gemini and ChatGPT, so when it cannot figure out the answer to your question, it will just send the information that way and present it to you. So I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole because it basically just does anything that ChatGPT and Gemini does, but what is actually really useful, now you can also type to Siri instead of just talking to Siri. The way you do this is from any app screen when your phone screen is on, you can just double press at the bottom where your little home bar is, and you can immediately just type to Siri. So I can say, what's the weather in LA? And my phone has never made a noise, which is really useful, especially if I'm going to continue having a conversation with Siri in a place that I don't necessarily want to talk out loud. Now, on newer iPhones, there is a feature called Visual Intelligence that you might be unaware of that actually came out last year. If you have a newer phone that has the camera control button right on the side, you can actually use Apple Intelligence and Visual Intelligence whenever you want. All you have to do is actually press and hold on that button, and Visual Intelligence is going to pop up and it's going to be a view of your camera. And then you can actually point your phone at anything that you see and your phone will try to figure out what it's looking at. So if it's a poster, it'll pull the information. If it is a photo of a plant or an animal, it will try and give you that information. And what I actually really use it for is QR codes. Every single time I see a QR code that I need to scan, I actually just hold that button, tap the shutter button in Visual Intelligence, and then it'll pull up whatever the contents of the QR code is. But if you actually want to look up something that you are seeing on your screen or in your camera roll, there's two different ways that you can do it. So I'm in my camera roll right here, and I might want to find out what is the flower that I took this photo of. And there's actually a few ways that I can do it. The easiest is actually just swiping up on the photo in your camera roll, and you will see a bunch of information about that photo, including where you took it. But what you'll see right up at the top is that my phone was able to figure out that this was a garden dahlia, which is what it thinks it is. And if I tap on that right there, I can actually get the results from Siri's knowledge base, and I can get more information and more photos. If I was just looking at the photo in my camera roll, I could also actually tap the object I want to know more about, like that, and you'll notice that the phone actually highlights that object and separates a little bit from the background. So here I can actually create a sticker of this and use it in iMessage, or I can just press lookup and I'll get that same information that I just saw a second ago. Now, if you want to find something that is on your phone screen, now with Visual Intelligence, you can actually just take a screenshot and search anything that is within that screenshot. For this example, I'm going to look up a product and it's these Nike shoes, but I'm not sure exactly what shoes these are. So I can actually just take a screenshot like I normally would. And now you'll see at the bottom, it's telling me to move my finger and highlight to search what I want to know more about. So I can actually just circle the shoe right there. And now it's giving me to swipe the sheet up at the bottom. And I can actually see more photos from Google Images that might be this actual product, and then in this case it is. Okay, so the next one that is actually a very hidden feature, and it is probably one of the best updates Apple's come out with in a long time, is the ability to isolate your voice to like near perfect levels in any app at any time on your phone. For this test, I'm actually recording my voice in voice memos so I can show you how this works, because you have to set this up for every single app that uses the microphone, either on your headphones or on your phone. So you'll have to set it up for Zoom, for FaceTime, anything for the first time. So what you're going to do is actually swipe down from the top right corner, and you'll notice right at the top here, it says voice memos controls. It's telling me that voice memos is using my microphone. If I actually tap that orange button, you'll notice that I get a couple of options right here. And the only one that we care about here is actually the audio and video, the voice isolation mode. So you'll see it is set to automatic right now, and we can set to standard. And if I was wearing headphones, I could actually set it to voice isolation, which would be that third option. And voice isolation has been trained on thousands and probably hundreds of thousands of people's voice data. So that way your phone all on its own, no matter what app you're using, can isolate your voice perfectly. And I've used this in so many situations, washing the dishes, on a busy street, on the subway, in the car, in a coffee shop with people talking around me. And every single time that I have used it and I'm curious, I will ask the other person and they always are shocked that I'm in a different place. They're always shocked that there's water running in the background. It is like a night and day difference. And especially if you work remotely and you want to be sneaky about where you're working, or you don't want other people to be distracted by voices behind you, I suggest turning this on your computer and on your phone. And you just have to do it for every single app the first time. And then once you've set it up for Zoom, once you've selected that option, for example, it will always go to that option as long as it's available, which most of the time just requires wearing headphones. Okay, so I'm editing this video right now, and I just wanted to give you guys a demo of how powerful voice isolation is the fastest way I can. So I'm standing in front of my sink. I'm where I always film, where you guys probably always expect to see me. And what I'm going to do is actually turn on the faucet so you can hear the difference between the standard voice mode, which is what we're in right now, and then I'll switch to voice isolation. So if I turn on the sink, it's probably trying to cut out my voice, but like that water is running. And I'm just gonna keep talking for a second so that way you can hear exactly how muddy it probably sounds. And now we're gonna switch over to voice isolation. Okay, so now we are on the voice isolation mode, and surprise, surprise, I'm still running. Oh, I'm still running the water. It is still fully running. It is just as loud as what you just heard a second ago, but now it is doing a lot of AI on-device processing to just single out my voice. So it's not perfect, but it's way better than probably anything else you've ever used. Okay, the final one that I want to show you guys is actually something that has come up before, but has gotten a lot better, and that is notification summaries. It's recording. Okay, so when you're in your lock screen, like me, you might get a ton of notifications, and most of the time they're repetitive ones. It's like, your ride's gonna pick you up, your ride's 5 minutes away. And for me, it's actually my sprinkler system because it's all automated through the internet. And I used to get 10 notifications that it was gonna happen, that it was happening, that it was halfway over, and then it was finished. And now what I've let my phone do is read my notifications and summarize the ones that I choose. So you'll probably be prompted to do this when you start, but you can also set this up in settings. And what you'll notice, if I go to my lock screen right now, you can see in my notification center, this is Ratio, which is my sprinkler system controller, and there's multiple notifications. There's two right here. It was going to start my sprinkler, and then it ended my sprinkler. But if I collapse them, you'll see that there's a little icon that shows that this notification was summarized, and this is a lot more useful to me because I don't have to actually open all the notifications, and I can just swipe that one away and move on. Now, if you want to set this up and you haven't before, all you have to do is open the settings app on your phone and scroll down and find notifications. So this is where you can adjust the settings for all the notifications for every app on your device. And you'll actually scroll down and you should see the middle section that says Apple Intelligence. We have two different options. The first one is prioritize notifications, and what this will do is it will read every notification that an app potentially wants to send to you, and even if you don't let the app normally send you all the notifications, what this will do is actually read it, and if it determines that it's time sensitive and there's a priority to it, it will actually present that to you so that way you don't miss it. The second option is the summaries notifications that we're talking about, and you can turn off the summaries globally, just off and on, and you can also turn them off for every single app on your phone individually. In case you want something summarized, like your email, but you don't want stuff like your text messages or a work like Teams or Slack to be summarized, you can turn specific ones off and control that. So that is my overview of iOS 26 and everything that is new with AI and with visual intelligence. Apple is definitely on the way to add a lot more AI features, and what they have right now is relatively basic, but I think that the way that they've implemented it is still helpful, and I've actually found myself using a lot of these smaller features every day. If you like this video, I'm actually doing a bunch on iOS 26 and the things that I think that you should care about that are actually useful. There's this video that's all about the customization and personalization of your phone, which is really fun because Apple has offered a bunch of new features and abilities that they've never offered before, and I actually go through all of them in that video. And if this is your first time seeing me, I'm Grayson, and I post videos every single week on different product reviews, home items, and tech. So if you have any questions or any video ideas, please let me know down below because I love talking to you guys. And if you made it to this point of the video, go ahead and subscribe and you'll see me every single week. And with that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!